We are speaking with Amy Kamm. She is the Director of Mental Health and Social and Emotional Learning in the Gloucester Public Schools. Amy has created an ambitious and comprehensive K-12 pilot program addressing mental health and social and emotional learning in the Gloucester Public Schools. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you
Good.
for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you. So, Amy, could you start by describing how mental health and SEL, we will call it, were addressed in the Gloucester Public Schools in the past? What is this program doing, and why does that matter?
Okay, so I will highlight with the new changes that we have in the district, and that will kind of highlight what was being done in the past and what changes we needed moving forward. So as you know, the pandemic has shined a new light on mental health for youth, and our leadership and our school committee has really put mental health as a priority. If you listen to the school committee meetings, it's always addressed as one of their priorities. And so I think that really helped propel my new position, which was the need to have a more uniformed approach to teaching kids skills around social emotional learning, and also making sure their mental health needs are addressed in a coordinated way. So I think it started really from the leadership and then the creation of my position this year. And in the past, oh, and we also have like more infrastructure. So we have 20, which surprises parents when I tell them, we have 23 district clinical staff in Gloucester.
Oh, wow.
So we have 13 school adjustment counselors, 7 psychologists, and 3 BCBAs, which are board certified lists. So, and that's in addition, we have some interns, some master's level interns. So we have a lot of infrastructure that we never had before. So in terms of this new program, when I took this position, I really looked at what were the needs, what's being done, and we adopted CASEL's, which is Collaborative for Academic Social Emotional Learning. They're the premier in social emotional learning nationwide, and we adopted their 5 competencies, which are, do you want me to, I mean, so, which I love this stuff, so I could talk about this.
That's fine. That's why you're here. Yeah.
Self-management skills, self-awareness, social awareness, relationship skills, and healthy decision-making. So those are the 5 core competencies that we believe every student needs to learn and needs to be integrated throughout the school district. So in taking this position, I did some looking around and asking around, and it seemed like we weren't really having one consistent message that was developmental, that built off each other. No program was done with fidelity. And so I think though we have pockets of really good work, there was not a developmental kind of approach. So that's where this program comes in. Yeah.
So I'm just asking to be educated, Amy. So are you identifying students who are in crises, or how does this work?
Yeah, so if you think of a 3-tiered system, it's called multi-tiered systems of support. Tier 1 is what every student gets.
K through 12, like K through, starts in kindergarten, goes through 12th grade, right?
Actually, I say PK through 12 because we have a full program, but yeah.
And that's new. That part is new, that it's so comprehensive, right?
That part is new.
Okay, sorry.
I think we thought we were doing it more than we were doing this, but so it's PK through 12 is so tier 1 is universal. It's what every student gets. And that is more when you think of curriculum and what general ed teachers are doing with the adjustment counselors in the classroom to teach these skills: empathy, diversity, communication, problem solving, all these skills. And also really challenging thoughts that are distorted, and mindfulness. So there's a bunch of components. And then tier 2 are the kids that have elevated need and may need more intensive services. So we're providing that within this program we're piloting, which is skill-based groups. around CBT and mindfulness, cognitive behavioral therapy techniques and mindfulness. And then tier 3 is really acute crisis, which we're really trying to focus on tier 1 and tier 2 more heavily and enhance those supports so that we don't get to tier 3. And the program is called Trails. And so it has a tier 1 through 3 approach.
So I had the benefit of listening to you speak to the school committee. So I learned some of this in advance. And you talked about why it was so important to identify kids who are struggling before they go into crisis.
Right.
You want to talk about that?
Yes. So one of my priorities is developing early identification and intervention tools, which is, I can talk later about, but we just got a grant for almost $100,000 for universal screening. And that identifies kids who are elevated on anxiety and maybe substance use. So, I mean, why we don't want kids to reach acute level of need is because usually that requires a more acute response, right? So, which could be mental health screenings, hospitalizations, which causes a disruption in the education. And we don't want that. We feel like if we teach kids skills earlier on and more consistently, that we can prevent a lot of that.
And this grant, do you want to talk about the grant a little bit, because the screening grant, because that's so impressive.
So, so what really excites me, so basically, people say like, there's no therapist, there's a year-long therapy wait, there's a crisis in the mental health. And I come from the mental health world previously, and I don't believe every kid needs a therapist. And I can't, and I felt like we needed to think creatively about partnering with community resources to address needs in the school. We have the kids for 7 hours, and I feel like we can do that. So I wrote 2 grants. One is the Universal Screening Grant through DESE, and that allows us to implement a pilot. Again, I want it PK through 12, but right now we're starting at the high school. And we gave out the GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder, and CRAFT, which is a substance abuse screening. And then once those kids are identified, we're offering them a range of supports. We have partnered with JRI, Children's Friend, and Project Adventure, and we're offering 7-week skill groups, individual support with mental health clinicians from Children's Friend, therapeutic yoga, a substance abuse supports, and for the EL students who we thought might not endorse typical screenings, and there's a language barrier, we're doing Project Adventure. So,
Amy, have you seen any difference in students this year, like once the mask restriction was lifted? Has it eased anybody at all, or is everyone still facing the same issues?
So I think overall, I mean, so again, I'm also trying to get much stronger in the district on data collection. I think we have a lot of qualitative data, so I could tell you that it seems better, worse. I'm not sure. I think what we're seeing, if I look at trends this year, are more kids struggling with school avoidance, which is another area of priority for me and the district in terms of how we support kids struggling with anxiety, which has been a real shift this year.
And that sort of runs the gamut from pre-K through 12 as well?
So in looking at how we support struggling students, especially with anxiety, we have consulted. I got Lynn Lyons this year to consult with us in an ongoing way. She wrote the book, Anxious Kids, Anxious Parents. And she has really helped, and we meet with her consistently. And it really has shifted how we work with kids struggling with anxiety. So we are now very, very much focused on what is the skill that that this child needs to develop, and how can we help develop that skill versus finding them a separate space. So like more avoidant or elimination strategies. It's really not focused on the content of the anxiety, it's focused on the process. So it's been huge. It's been a huge benefit, I think.
Gotcha.
And again, these are skills. And to me, this is kind of a radical way of thinking about this, that your program is intentionally trying to create skills that these kids can take into life to help them manage them in moments of anxiety, which we could probably all use. So,
Yeah, it's definitely based in cognitive behavioral therapy, but it's challenging your thoughts. It's distorted thought processes, trying to analyze those, choose new behaviors, and really things when I talk about it, adults are like, I needed that. I need that now. Catastrophizing, all in unthinking, rigid thinking, like all these things that create barriers to healthy decisions, really, and behaviors.
and giving them a language to
Right.
sort of to just imagine their thoughts or
Right.
to contextualize their thoughts. Yeah.
Right. And a shared language among staff as well in addressing this.
Right. And the kindergartner who becomes a fifth grader will know the language because they've been going through this curriculum, right? When they're still talking about it in the sixth grade.
Definitely.
In high school. Yeah.
Yes. That's our hope.
How receptive have the parents been?
So to be honest, they might be learning about this right now.
Just in, folks. Yeah.
So to be honest, because of the pandemic, and I feel like people are like just fatigued with like online stuff. And Lynn Lyons was going to do in person for the parents. We do have an in person. Kevin Hines is coming around mental health. April 5th and 6th to Gloucester. So we're going to invite parents in, but there will be communication going home as in a routine way with the Trails program. That's a component of the program, but I'm not sure many parents are aware of what we're doing or trying to do.
And if they want to learn more, how would they go about doing that?
So I'm working on the website.
Oh, okay.
Which if they look, it'll say coming soon, but they can call me. 978-491-6608 is my work number, or my email is akamm@gloucesterschools.com.
And what would the website be called when that goes up?
It's under the school district.
Under Gloucester Schools. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you touched upon this, and I just want to ask you one more time. I know you're intentionally connecting with community partners in this work. Do you want to just go back into that a little bit? I know the Unity group is one of the groups you're working with, right?
So the universal screening was the one I had reviewed. The RAISE program, Reengaging All Youth to School, is a program I developed a long time ago, actually, dropout prevention, but it's been enhanced. And I got a grant through the Mass Grad Grant, and we are partnering with Unity to have kids who are having trouble or obstacles coming to school for whatever reason and are close to graduation, attend there. I've hired a full-time academic success coordinator who is there on site with Unity. Then they can also access the psychoeducational groups that Unity offers. So it's like a win-win. It's an amazing space if you've ever been there.
That's great.
Kids really like cool. It's a home office for them.
Right, that's wonderful.
Yes, it's great.
Well, Kory, more questions? Do you have another question for Amy?
No, that's a lot. I mean, I'm waiting for the website to come out. Then I'll have a lot more questions. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's incredible work you're doing. And it's so comprehensive, and, pre-K through 12th. So it becomes just another part of their curriculum is so interesting.
Yeah, and I just want to add, I do want to put in a plug for my kids, the mental health ambassadors who did the Green Bandana campaign.
Yes.
They are also helping to spread the word around the importance of this work. So I think it's so many layers of really giving kids a language, mental health literacy, advocating to decrease the stigma, increase access points for help, improve help-seeking behaviors. So they're doing all that work too. So they're great. They're a great group.
Well, we talked to Ethan Foreman about the Green Bandana campaign. Can you just fill us in really quickly about what that is?
Yes.
Again.
So last year I developed the mental health ambassador program out of necessity because I was one person and I felt like we needed to activate the youth voice. So I trained there's like 20 kids. And this year we really wanted to create a kickoff campaign that brought awareness and brought mental health back into light and into the conversation. And basically it is, the kids, we gave out probably 1,000 bandanas already. We have pledge cards, which of course I don't have one here, but it's a pledge card with, basically I'm gonna, bring a struggling peer to a trusted adult. I'm gonna, there's resources on the back, and the kids were asked to tie the green bandanas to their backpacks in a visual sign of solidarity. And so we did it at the high school, and now we're in the middle. We ran out of bandanas last time we were at the middle school, but the kids gave them out at the middle school. And so that has been a really amazing campaign.
Yeah. And Amy, I actually saw students at Manchester Essex Regional High School with the green bandanas as well.
They split.
Right?
I stole it from college.
Oh yeah.
It's a college edition. I think, my daughter goes, yeah, I was looking at clubs and I was like, oh my God, I love that. It was a college, it's usually a college initiative. We stole it. So Manchester could steal it. That's fine.
All is fair in the name of mental health.
Exactly.
So, right?
It's fair.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Amy, for joining us and helping us understand this really important program.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Amy.
All right. And come back and tell us more anytime.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, maybe Kevin Hines. Oh, can I say? So Kevin Hines, a mental health champion, he is coming on April 5th for a community mental health and wellness event. I have 27 or 30 resource tables at 5:30. At 6:30, he is presenting. Anyone is welcome. He had survived a jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and is just an amazing advocate.
Wow.
It's a story of hope. And then the next day, he's going to present to 2 assemblies at the high school.
Amazing. Okay.
So you're welcome.
Well, yeah. Thank you for reminding us about that. And maybe we'll do a separate introduction to him at another time too, closer to the end. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.